After this week, just one regular season IHSA football game remains for our local teams fighting for playoff positioning. Also, girls tennis sectionals just wrapped up as multiple teams and individuals fought for a spot at state. Hello, Naperville sports fans, and welcome to another episode of NSW. I'm your host, Joe Kennedy. Naperville Central football looked to stay unbeaten over the weekend, while Mattia and Nequa met up head-to-head. Let's start the show with the Red Hawks, who hosted Carl Sandburg.
Naperville Central returns home to celebrate Salute to Service Night. The Red Hawks hold a perfect 7-0 record and look to capture win number 8 and improve their playoff seeding hosting Sandburg. The Eagles are 5-2 after seeing their 5-game winning streak end at the hands of Andrew last week. It's the opening drive for the Hawks, and guess who's back? Back again. It's Aiden Clark getting the Sebastian Hayes screen pass, and he helps move the chains after a 30-plus yard gain. Fourth down coming up for Central, and it's Hayes sneaking it in for the touchdown, and it's 7-0 Hawks. On the next drive, they have another fourth down play, and Hayes finds Vince Byrne for the first down. Next play, Clark takes the handoff, and he knows what to do. He takes it into the end zone for 6. It's 14-0, red and white. In the second half, the Eagles need a spark, and they get it from Ryan Ward, who picks off Hayes, and Sandburg has the ball near midfield. After a series of passes, the Eagles finally find pay dirt with Lucas Baziorska, who just crosses the plane for the touchdown, and they trail 19-8 after the 2-point conversion. In the fourth quarter, the Eagles are trying to play catch-up, but Garrett Nichols says here comes the boom as he knocks the ball out, and Nate Zacher falls on it for the takeaway. Ellison rewards their efforts with his second field goal of the game, which is the dagger as the Red Hawks hold on for a 22-8 victory to secure the DVC Southwest Suburban Conference Red Division title. Up next is state powerhouse Lincoln Way East to wrap up the regular season.
2024 hasn't been kind to 204 rivals Nequa Valley and Mattia Valley. Both teams sit at 1-6 heading into this Week 8 matchup hosted by the Wildcats. Nequa looks to defend its home field in its final home contest of the year, while Mattia looks to get its school's first victory over Nequa. On the first drive of the game, Wildcats QB Keith Truon fakes the handoff and then rolls to his right before finding Daniel Robinson downfield. Robinson makes a nice juke on the Mattia defender, and then he rolls down for a big Wildcat gain. Robinson's big gain sets up Barkley later on, who goes untouched into the end zone for the first score of the game, 7-0 Wildcats. The Mustangs went to the ground a lot early as a big gap opens up for Charles Flowers, who runs it in from the 10-yard line, 7-7 in the first quarter. Nequa wastes no time getting back to the red zone on their next drive as they motion it back to the right before Truon zips one to Benjamin Stefanski to take a 14-7 lead after the first quarter. On to the second quarter, and Truon has all day to throw. He connects with fellow senior Sean Ancho for a 17-yard touchdown. Nequa begin to build a lead at 21-7. On the ensuing Mattia possession, a high snap leads to pressure in the backfield, and Ethan Engler blocks it. Nequa get the ball within the 5-yard line, and momentum is growing fast for the Wildcats. A penalty moved them back, but it's no problem for Truon and Ancho, who connect again on a score, and it's 28-7 just a few minutes into the second quarter. Later in the quarter, Jake McLeod runs out to his left and looks to Dylan Liner. The pass is almost picked, but Liner secures it and makes the defender miss on his way to the end zone, 28-13 after a missed extra point. Late in the first half, Truon has all day again and uses his time to find Ancho for a third connection between the seniors. The Wildcats would take a 42-13 lead into halftime. After the dominant first half, Nequa wouldn't need much more, but Pierce Stevens makes a big defensive play, recovering a fumble in the backfield, and he returns it for a touchdown. Nequa go on to win 49-20 and notch their second win of the season. Matia fall to 1-7 on the year.
Naperville North is on the road for the final time this season as they travel to Homewood Flossmoor. The Vikings sit at 4-3, needing one more win to be playoff eligible, while the Huskies are at 5-2 and look to improve their seeding. Naperville North finds themselves down 12-0 early until this red zone drive is capped off with Jacob Bell finding Brock Pettaway, who dashes his way into the end zone to get the Huskies on the board, down 12-7. Two North possessions later, now 19-14, Bell and Pettaway hook up again. Bell throws a dart to Pettaway for another touchdown as the Huskies now go up 21-19 heading into halftime. In the third quarter, Bell looks for Quinn Morris, but Carlton Brownfield jumps the route and gets the interception. Homewood Flossmoor would go on to score and take a 26-21 lead. Now down 48-33 with under 2 minutes left, Bell finds Charlie Schinkel over the middle and down at the 1 to keep the hope alive for the Huskies. On the next play, Bell plunges in for the touchdown to make it 48-40, still with a fighting chance. Needing to convert the onside kick, the Huskies are ready to the task as the kick bounces towards the sideline and is corralled right into the hands of Edward Mumford. He falls down in midfield and the Huskies have a chance. Now in need of heroics, they would get just that as Bell throws as he's hit and finds Quinn Morris. He stays in and lunges over the plane for a 31-yard touchdown catch, but the Huskies now have to convert for 2. On the conversion, Bell calls his own number as number 2 is in from 2 yards out to tie it up at 48 as we go to overtime. In the first overtime, the Vikings' run game rises again. Michael Terrell evades several tacklers before walking in for the touchdown, giving the Vikings first blood. They add a 2-point conversion to make it 56-48. North comes right back as Bell steps up and evades the rush before throwing across his body and finding a sliding Pettaway to keep the Huskies right with them. They get a 2-point conversion as well as we go to double OT. Homewood Flossmoor's run game gets it done again as Jaden Banks breaks 2 tackles and is in for the touchdown to give advantage back to the Vikings. They would line up for 2 with Green and the Wildcat, but this time the Huskies are ready. Green can't get in as North has a shot to pull off the comeback. First play for North, Bell has time and throws to the corner of the end zone where Morris rises up for the great catch. Bell's 9th overall touchdown on the night ties it up at 62. Now just needing to make the PAT to win it, the kick from Tyler Duell is down the middle. Naperville North pulls off an epic 63-62 comeback win over Homewood Flossmoor in double overtime. The Huskies move to 6-2 and improve on their playoff seeding heading into the final game of the regular season.
As just a freshman, Chase Adams helped Naperville Central boys soccer to its first ever state championship. 2 years later, the 16-year-old is playing professionally with the Columbus Crew organization. We'll have more on Adams and his professional career after the break.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
When it comes to interest rates, it seems the Fed only knows one direction: up. That's not fair. If you're fed up with high rates, head over to Fair Oaks Ford. You can get 0.9% APR financing for 66 months. Now that's fair. Plus, you'll get what J.D. Power called the best customer experience in the business. Fair Oaks Ford on Ogden Avenue in Naperville. You've got a friend in the car business. Shop online 24/7 at fairoaksford.com.
Chase Adams was a freshman when he led Naperville Central boys soccer to a state championship, recording 22 goals and 20 assists. The 16-year-old now plays professionally on the Columbus Crew 2 team in the Youth League of the MLS. NSW's Justin Cornwell has more for our latest Where Are They Now, presented by Gross Sports Psychology.
The 2022 boys soccer season was a dream come true for then Naperville Central freshman Chase Adams. Coached by his father Troy and playing alongside his older brother Carter, Chase helped lead the Red Hawks to the first state championship in school history, eventually being named the Illinois Gatorade Boys Soccer Player of the Year and a United Soccer Coaches All-American after tallying 22 goals and 19 assists. An unforgettable season for the whole Adams family.
The joy of winning a championship with your kids and being able to go out and give them a hug on the field at that last game is just, it's something I think most coaches would love to be able to experience.
However, that memorable fall was almost a misconnection for the Red Hawk soccer program. Following an impressive youth soccer career, Chase nearly joined the Columbus Crew Training Academy before the start of his freshman year. But the Crew was unable to find a host family, so Chase spent his first semester as a freshman at Naperville Central before making the move to Ohio.
The soccer one kind of came about in middle school as he kept working at it, and he had an opportunity through the Olympic Development Program in Illinois to be able to go to a couple tournaments where they had some scouts from MLS teams, and Crew happened to be one of them. And it was as we went on a couple of different tours, it was a good fit. We thought that they did a good job of balancing soccer, life, and academics.
It was not easy for the family to see Chase move 6 hours away at such a young age, but Coach Adams and his wife knew it was too good of an opportunity to pass up.
And it really came down to, you always regret the things you didn't do. You don't regret the things you do. And when originally we sent him out in January, we said, okay, it's 6 months. Let's see how these first 6 months go. And if it's great, then he can sign back up. And if it's not great, he comes back home. And he's had an experience that very few players have had and very few people have had. And those are what life are about, is those experiences that allow you to grow as a person.
Despite the incredible opportunity in front of him, it was not easy for Chase to turn down one more shot at a state championship alongside his dad and big brother.
Once high school season started rolling back around, I was like, ooh, I really miss it. I'd be lying if I didn't think about going back and wanting to play one more season with my brother and my dad and win another state title. But I also realized that not that I'd grown past it, but where I was now is where I was meant to be. And especially with what was going on with the opportunities I was given, and obviously leading to where I am now with the second team and training with the first team a few times, it's obviously paid off.
Over the next year, the Naperville native developed his game at the Crew Training Academy. His days jam-packed with training and practice in the early mornings before starting 7 hours of online coursework, lasting well into the evening. The hard work paid off when in early August of 2024, Chase Adams officially became a professional soccer player by signing a contract with the Columbus Crew 2 of the MLS Next League, the feeder program into the MLS, just one level below the first team Crew roster.
Everything is exactly where you want it, and it's the fine, very small details that makes the biggest difference, and the difference from the high school game to then even the academy game, and then obviously first team and second team.
Despite the challenging adjustments both on the field and off, Adams has thrived playing as a forward with the Crew 2, leading the team in goals and being named an MLS Next All-Star over the summer. With a state championship and a blossoming professional career under his belt, Chase Adams has already achieved a great deal on the soccer pitch, but there are still major destinations remaining on the journey for the 16-year-old.
My next goal is to win the championship with Columbus Crew 2 this postseason, but my next big goal would be to make my debut and then sign that MLS contract. Those are my next two big goals, and then if I'm looking way ahead, 5 years, maybe 6 years, potentially going to Europe and playing there.
Regardless of where Chase's professional soccer career takes him, he's already completed one of his biggest lifelong dreams.
You know, it's funny when he was talking with some of the Crew people, he said, they're like, oh, signing a contract. He goes, no, for most of my life, it was being a Red Hawk soccer player. That was the thing I looked forward to the most.
For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Justin Cornwell.
Girls tennis met up for sectionals over the weekend, with many of our teams being in position to bring home the trophies. Let's see who will make it to state after the break.
We live in a safe community, but not a crime-free community. If you see something, say something. Be a Naperville Crime Stopper.
Rise and shine, Naperville. I'm NBC5's Stephen Holt here at the new Matrix Club. Join me for breakfast and a show and experience all the excitement of being part of a live TV audience for the morning show. Buy your tickets today and support your hometown television station, NCTV 17.
Girls tennis sectionals are on as the District 204 teams travel to West Aurora. Plainfield North and East, along with Oswego and Oswego East, are also competing. Neuqua Valley hopes to win a 7th straight sectional title. In the singles finals is defending state champion Jessica Kovalsic taking on Waubonsie Valley freshman Lydia Paranto. On this continuous back-and-forth rally, Paranto gets the edge, catching Kovalsic on a bad angle. The ball lofts over to the other side where Paranto smacks it down for the point. Later, Kovalsic keeps this play alive as Paranto hits it very lightly to the other side. The Tiger senior capitalizes with a quick strike for the point to keep the match in her favor. Paranto would continue to challenge Kovalsic in another back-and-forth swinging rally. The stalemate ends as the Warrior gets a low angle on Kovalsic, who can't get to the ball in time as she gets the point to keep it a dead heat. However, Kovalsic would gain the advantage on Paranto as another back-and-forth possession ends with the Warrior being unable to clear the other side. Kovalsic is the sectional singles champion, winning in straight sets 6-3 and 6-3. On to the doubles portion, we go to the third place matchup between Neuqua Valley teammates Sophia Hugh and Kylie Tran taking on Zara Khan and Madeline Fink. Fink and Khan have their way early on as Fink gets the ball past the two Wildcats and lands it in bounds for the point. However, Hugh and Tran fight back as they get Fink off balance on this shot, which lands out of bounds to get them back in it. Then later on, they catch Fink off guard as she can't clear the shot to the other side and into the net. Hugh and Tran finished third in doubles with straight set wins of 6-2 and 6-2. Now on to the doubles championship between Metea Valley's Serena Salim and Sophia Kahu against Waubonsie's Sophia Paranto and Debbie Rayo. The Warriors duo gets a decent start early as they return this shot just in bounds on the Mustang side to give them the point and an early lead. Metea has some tricks up their sleeves. Now playing a short game, they force Waubonsie back, and with no one in front, they hit a tap shot inbounds for the point to get them in reach. The Mustangs now go the long game, where after some more valleys, Metea gets an angle just in bounds for another point as they take the momentum shift. Waubonsie, however, would come back. They take a page out of Metea's book and shift to the long game, where Rayo swats it down from the back just in bounds to get them the point. Metea eventually tries to rebound as they go for the strike, but it's kept alive by Rayo, who hits it high in the back corner and keeps it in for the advantage. The Warriors duo wins the doubles championship with a straight set win of 6-3 and 6-3. It gives Waubonsie the final 2 points to win their first sectional title with 22 total points. Plainfield North takes second with 20, while Neuqua Valley finishes in third with 15.
Bennett Academy hosts the 1A sectional for tennis this fall, and for the second time in program history, they sweep the finals. Claire Lopatka and Shane Delaney take on Natalie Grover and Katie Gendra in the doubles final, while Lily Lopatka plays Meredith Converse in the singles final, all but securing the sectional title. Let's start with doubles, as Shane Delaney serves it over. She goes back and forth with Katie Gendra before Claire Lopatka sees the ball pop up in the air for an easy volley winner. It's Grover's turn to serve now, and after a quick volley back and forth, she steps up and delivers a backhand down the line for a point of her own. Gendra serves to Delaney, and her backhand is placed perfectly for a quick response. Delaney and Lopatka lead set 1, 4-1. The two pairs continue to play on. Gendra looks to hit a backhand down the line, but Lopatka volleys it down the middle of the court for a set 1 win. We're in the second set now, and Grover and Gendra are starting to make things interesting. Here's a nice shot by Grover that reaches the back corner for the point. Facing the serve, Gendra and Grover step up again as Gendra's volley wins the game for the duo. They keep within 1 at 3-4 in set number 2. Delaney and Lopaka won't be denied though, as Delaney sniffs out the ball over the middle of the court and hits a nice volley to stay ahead. What you're seeing now is at the end of a 42-shot rally during the second set. A quick volley from Lopaka returns Grover's shot. Grover and Delaney go back and forth at their respective baselines. She returns one to Lopaka, who volleys it right in front of Gendra, who ends the long rally and lets out some emotion. The duo force a tiebreak in the second set. Late in the tiebreak, Lopaka lines up a forehand that goes straight past Grover and Gendra to take the tiebreak, the set, the match, and the sectional title. Both duos will represent the Red Wings at state next week. Now we are on to singles, where both participants will be headed to the state finals next week. But Converse and Lopaka go back and forth from their baselines, and Converse comes in and Lopaka returns her shot. But Converse turns and hits a nice shot past the racket of Lopaka for the point. Now Lopaka is at the net, Converse stays composed and hits a winner as she takes the first set 6-1. It's Converse's serve now, and Lopaka's returns have her zigzagging across the court before one is hit too fast and too low for Converse to return. But late in the match, Converse takes over on her serve point and hits a winner to take the second set 6-3. Bennett wins the sectional with a perfect 36 points.
Let's head to Homewood Flossmoor for a boys' play of the week as Naperville North football trailed by 15 with under 2 minutes remaining. Now down 8 and needing to convert the onside kick, Tyler Dool kicks one to perfection and Edward Mumford does a great job to recover the ball for North. Then Jacob Bell finds Quinn Morris near the front pylon for a touchdown and Bell converts on the two-pointer. The Huskies would go on to win 63-62 in double overtime for one of the best games all season. When we return, let's check out the DVC championships in boys and girls cross country. We'll see if anyone can stop the Naperville North girls as they look to win a 14th straight conference title.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
BMO.
2 dealerships, side by side, identical in every way. What makes the difference? The experience. That's why more people choose Fair Oaks Lincoln. Incredible selection, knowledgeable salespeople, and a world-class experience you can't find anywhere else. Get 0% for 72 months, plus $2,000 off a 2023 Lincoln Aviator this month at Fair Oaks Lincoln in Naperville, where the dealership experience makes the difference.
Waubonsie Valley High School hosts the 2024 DuPage Valley Conference Meet for girls cross country. All the Naperville area schools and DeKalb are ready to compete as Naperville North looks to win a 13th straight DVC title. At the sound of the starter's gun, the runners are off. 76 runners are competing with Mattia Valley's Kaylee Russell and Isabel Sieben leading the way, along with a pack of Redhawks from behind. Near the first mile, it's Emma Barris and Rihanna Tandon of Naperville North. This follows up with Wildcat Elizabeth Hall, Husky Shania Tandon, and Mustang Kaylee Russell. This also includes Redhawk Lola Satre Morales, running in between Waubonsie's Catherine Heap and Lily Byback. We also get a Husky trio running in the top 15. In between the baseball fence and tree, Barris continues the lead, along with Rihanna Tandon. Rounded out is Wildcat Elizabeth Hall, and Husky Shania Tandon also comes around. Naperville Central's Satre Morales manages to keep pace, and also keeping pace is Mustang Russell and Naperville North's Catherine Rohr. At the 2-mile mark, it's the same Husky lead of Barris and Rihanna Tandon. Rihanna's twin sister Shania is trying to catch up to the Husky duo. Neuqua Valley's Hall is keeping a nice stride as the fourth runner, and Roar is coming in with a good pace along with Satre Morales. Mustang Russell, Wabanzi's Heap, and Norse Chloe Pio are also keeping pace in the top 10, with another pack of runners coming up from behind. At the end of the race, it's Barris who takes home the top spot with a time of 17 minutes and 46 seconds. Huskies Rihanna and Shania Tandon finish in second and third, respectively. This follows up with the Wildcat Hall coming in fourth, while Naperville North's Roar and Red Hawk Satre Morales rounds out the top 6. Russell comes in 7th, Heap in 8th, Buyback in 9th, and Pio in 10th. More Husky runners come in to add more points for Naperville North, and as a result of that, the Huskies win the DVC Championship for a 13th straight year. It's a sunny day to go out for a run at Wabanzi Valley High School. The Naperville area schools and DeKalb are here to compete in this year's DVC meets. Neuqua Valley is looking to defend its title after winning last year, while Naperville Central and Mattia rounded out the top 3. With the sun shining on the grass and the sound of the starter gun, the runners are off. 100 runners are competing as a few Neuqua Valley runners take the lead alongside a few Huskies, and DeKalb's Jacob Barraza sprints his way to the front. Coming uphill from the tennis courts is Neuqua Valley's Grayson Meek and Aaron Hamilton, with Central's Patrick Clune and Wildcat Anish Bagwa in the top 9. Another group features a Wildcat quad led by Neil Chawla. Huskies Lucas Keene and Brian Halstead are trailing behind, including Wildcat Ryan Lee and Naperville Central's Vaughn Scherer. A trio of Mustangs also approach the first mile. Coming downhill, the lead has changed, with Norse Amar Bonpuri, DeKalb's Barraza, and Central's Clune taking the top 3. Red Hawk Nahara is trailing behind Norse Jackson Trudy. Mustang Ian French is looking to catch up to the top spot, along with Husky Schmidt. At the 2-mile mark, it's Barraza of DeKalb who is taking a huge lead in this event. It's followed by Central's Clune and Nahara and Norse Bonpuri. Trailing behind is Neuqua's Meek and Naperville North Simon Reckamp. We also see another Wildcat and Husky duo of Aaron Hamilton and Jackson Trudy remaining in the top 8. We approach the finish line, and it's Barraza taking first with a time of 14 minutes and 56.60 seconds. Clune takes second place, and another Red Hawk takes third in Nahara, both finishing under 15 minutes and 15 seconds. Wildcat freshman Grayson Mink rounds out the top 4, and the Husky trio of Bonpuri, Reckamp, and Trudy take 5th, 6th, and 7th. Mustang Ian French takes 10th place. Garrett Anderson, Liam Yak, and Bagwat of Neuqua Valley also are in the top 14. Kyle Beetler leads the way for Wabanzi with a time of 16:54. The competition was swift, but it's Neuqua Valley who takes home another DVC title by 5 points. Naperville North places second, and Naperville Central gets third. Naperville North girls volleyball hosts Mattia Valley, where Elle Smith sprawls out for the dig in our play of the week. Mattia sets up for the attack and they go down the sideline, but Smith is there for the sprawling dig. The great effort leads to a Husky point as the Mustangs aren't able to get it over. We'll take another look at the play from Smith. It helps give North a 17-10 lead in the second as the Huskies take down the top-ranked DVC team in straight sets. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of NSW. We have a lot of exciting postseason action to get to next week, as well as the final week of regular season football. You can find all our highlights, feature stories, and community sports on nctv17.org. You can also find us on social media at NCTV17 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Joe Kennedy.